Evangeline L. Olaes from the Department of Education, and today we will going to tackle about the ecoliteracy and sustainable development, the 7 environmental principles, and making schools the dark green schools, and of course the environmental education.
What is ecoliteracy and sustainable development? The term was coined by American educator David W. Orr and physicist Fritjof Capra in the 1990s, thereby a new value entered education, the well-being of the rain. An ecologically literate society would be a sustainable society which did not destroy the natural environment on which they depend. Ecoliteracy, it is the ability to understand the natural system that make life on earth possible. It is the power that comes from the knowledge and consciousness of how the natural living system operates.
There are ways to develop ecoliteracy, and these are develop empathy for all forms of life, embrace sustainability as a community practice, make the invisible visible, anticipate unintended consequences, and understand how nature sustains our everyday life. So what is ecological sustainability? Sustainability is the capacity to endure in ecology. The word describes how biological system remains diverse, productive over time. So it is a wide-ranging term that can be applied to almost everyday phase of life on Earth, from the local to a global scale and overall various time period. So what are the examples of environmental sustainability? So these are renewable energy such as solar, wind, hydroelectric, and biomass. So another is recycling materials such as iron and steel and mineral. So why it is important to integrate ecological literacy in education? It is important that students understand the natural system that sustain and life on earth and apply the principle guiding ecosystem to help create sustainable human communities. And also, it is the knowledge empowers students to help create a better society and make difference. Studies have shown that combining civic engagement and ecological literacy creates positive change. Leaders willing to participate as citizens and engage in creating solutions.
The 7 environmental principles establish interdependence and equal importance among all forms of life on Earth, regardless of size, distribution, or function. Changes that affect even the minutest organisms can create a ripple effect that could bear tremendous impacts upon greater ecological interactions, observable or otherwise. In this sense, the call for greater awareness over ecological footprints, especially in this age of advanced modernization and industrialization, resonates louder than ever. The first environmental principle is nature knows best. This is the most basic principle of all the principles. We humans have to understand nature and follow its rules, because if we want to ensure a continuous and a steady supply of resources, one must not go against the natural processes. If we humans cause any disruptions in the cycle of nature, this can bring imbalance to our ecosystem. The second one is all forms of life are important. Each organism plays a fundamental role in nature. It is easy to appreciate the beautiful organisms like butterflies, especially if one knows their role in pollination. The giant ones like elephants and the whales, the alligators, are the ones we respect mixed with fear and wonder and the products they produce. But when it comes to unlovely, squirmy, and troublesome creatures, this principle is unusually overlooked. The third one is everything is connected to everything else. In an ecosystem, all biotic and abiotic components interact with each other to ensure that the system is sustained. Any intrusion from the outside may cause an imbalance and collapsing of the system. The fourth one is everything changes. The environment is constantly changing. Organisms also develop through time. However, with our current technology, we have affected these natural changes that these changes now cause problematic events to us. Humans should think the relationship with the environment because what we believe that is beneficial to the environment often turns out to be catastrophic.
Another thing is everything must go somewhere. Everything ends up elsewhere, so it doesn't just disappear. For example, if you throw a piece of candy wrapper away, it disappears from sight but it doesn't cease to exist. So that means it ends up elsewhere. Another thing is gases released in the atmosphere may spread, but it will end up a component of the atmosphere and can be brought down by rains. So any particular type of waste should always be a concern to us. It may be a pollutant or a resource depending on a certain factors. Be a responsible person and throw your trash in a proper place. Next is ours is a finite earth. So earth resources can be classified as either renewable or non-renewable resources. So renewable resources are those that can be easily replenished by the natural cycle such as water, air, plants, and animals. So while non-renewable resources are those cannot be replenished through the natural cycles. So although renewable resources cannot be replenished, it is important to understand that they are renewable only if they are not overused and not destroyed from the factors such as pollution. And the last one is nature is beautiful and we are all stewards of God's creation. That means, among all creatures, humans are the only one made in God's image and have been given the right to have dominion over all His creations. Being the most intelligent and gifted with a reason, humans are capable of manipulating creation to their own advantage. Yet, creation exists not to be abused, but to be taken care of.
Making schools dark green schools. Description. The dark green school is a school that delivers environmental education through the assimilation of the environmental philosophy by the students day and in and out in formal lesson as well as from activities outside the classroom. A dark green school is a school that creates a healthy environment conducive to learning, while saving energy, environmental resources, and money such as conservation of materials and saving energy, proper waste management and segregation, proper use of materials and avoidance of harmful materials and smoke-free air. This aims an ecological campus. Importance. Greener schools is not only save energy and conserve resources, they also help municipalities address whatever regional environmental problems they may be facing, such as water use, stormwater management, air quality, recycling, or mold problems. Examples. These green practices include sustainable purchasing, electronic stewardship, transportation, pollinator protection, waste diversion, pollution prevention.
What is environmental education? Environmental education is a process that helps individuals, communities, and organizations learn more about the environment and develop skills and understanding about how to address global challenges. It has the power to transform lives and society, informs and inspire, and influence attitudes and motivate action. According to Burnett 2012, environmental education is a key tool in expanding the constituency for the environmental movement and creating healthier and more civically engaged communities. So specifically speaking, The environmental education is concerned with those aspects of human behavior which are more related sa man's interaction with its biophysical environment and to have the ability to understand its interaction. So the environmental education has the objective. So first, the awareness that help social groups and individuals to acquire knowledge of pollution and environment degradation. Second, the knowledge to help social groups and individual to acquire knowledge of the environment beyond the immediate environment, including distant environment. So third, the attitude. It is important so that to help social groups and individual to acquire a set values for environmental protection. So next will be the skills and capacity building. This is to help social groups and individuals to develop skills required for making discrimination in form, shape, sound, touch, habits, and habitats. Further, to develop ability to draw unbiased inferences and conclusion. So lastly, we have the participation. Participation to provide social groups and individuals with an opportunity to be actively involved at all levels in environmental decision making. Environmental education has its goal, and the main goal of environmental education is to succeed in making individuals and communities understand the complex nature of the natural and the built environment. Meanwhile, building strategies to boost and sustain nature is also part of environmental education. Whether we bring the nature into the classroom or take the students outside to learn, environmental education has many benefits for the younger generation and the communities that they live in. Introducing environmental education in the school curriculum is vital, as the same it instills in them the values of preserving the environment. So environmental education has the benefits. So first, it boosts critical and creative thinking skills. So environmental education inspires students to research, inquire about how and why specific things happen, and later make their own decision about complex environmental issues. By progressing and strengthening critical and creative thinking skills, ecological education motivates the younger generation to consisting of consumers, workers, and policy and decision makers. The discussion and learning on environmental education enable the children to evaluate the circumstances that are affecting the environment. Promoting healthy lifestyle is the second. Numerous problems such as obesity and anxiety do not allow students from getting out more frequently. So the environment has a healing ability, and the environment activities ensure the students that make the best of use of their time. This education in schools makes students to go outside and become active, and it also assists in addressing many health issues that students these days are going through. So environmental education could promote healthy lifestyle so that students could never take the wrong path in improving and making their life better. So another benefits of environmental education is the responsible action is taken to better the environment. So environmental education helps students understand and how their decision and action should change the environment, strengthening the knowledge and skills needed to address complex environmental issues and ways we can take action and to keep our environment strong and sustainable for the future. So lastly, we could learn about the environmental challenges, because environmental education helps students understand how their decision and our measure affect the environment, generate knowledge and the needed skills to address environmental issues alongside the action that one can take to protect the environment and make it strong and sustainable for the future. So the schools should teach the students how their actions impact the nature which can help maintain the environmental balance.